This section is designed to be a brief overview of the features and functionality of this unique control box, found exclusively on the Putzmeister 63Z meter. As we look at our ergonic control box, we find the cabinet that houses EBC, our boom control, EPS, our pump system control, and ETS, our teleservice control. As we look at our display, we have optional ports for future use. Then we have our boom light switches. They operate boom lights on the tip, the hopper, and the pedestal. We also have our local remote control switch. This switch sends our power to either the remote box or to the hopper panel. Outrigger lights. Under poor lighting condition, these highlight the ends of the outriggers so that they are highly visible during a pour. There are open spaces also available for future options. This switch here activates OSS, or one-sided support outrigger deployment. You can select either the left or the right side with a corresponding light to display that this function is active. The switch on the right enables the operator to deactivate the flashing beacon that indicates that the pump is in OSS mode. Complete operation of this feature is covered in another section of this DVD. Please consult those sections for information on operation. The diagnostic plug on the front of the combi box is to be used by authorized Putzmeister service technicians. Unscrewing this plug gives us access to interface our laptop computers to work with the systems that are operating your machine. Putzmeister service technicians are trained to work with the programming and make sure that your machine runs at peak performance. This is the EGD, or ergonic graphic display. This gives a visual interpretation of pumping operations. On the left of the screen, we see our thermometer. This displays the hydraulic oil temperature in the main tank. The next box is our hour meter display. This displays how many hours the unit has been pumping. The box just to the upper right corner indicates our condition of pump, whether it's pump on, or pump off, or pump reverse. This section of our display shows us the engine RPMs. Our graphic display indicates concrete pumping pressure. That's how much hydraulic pressure we're exerting on the concrete in the system with our hydraulic pumps. At the bottom of our screen, we see system information icons. On the far left, we have a fault icon indicating a fault somewhere in the system. The other icons help identify what the fault is. This icon represents high oil temperature. The flashing e-stop button tells us the e-stop is activated. This button here indicates that the oil cooler fan is selected and on. It runs either automatic or manual. Then we have EOC, Ergonic Output Control. This icon tells the operator whether this function is active or not. The three buttons on the right are navigational tools to help us get from screen to screen. The bottom knob is a rotary-style knob with a push-button detent. This is used to move a cursor throughout the screen and select items. By selecting the top right button, we go to our pump cell condition screen. In the box, we note milliamp voltage. This tells us how many milliamps that we're sending to our pump controls. The next one shows maximum pumping pressure. This is how much pressure we're exerting on the concrete pump. This indicates seconds per stroke, how long it is taking the concrete pump to make one complete stroke. Next, we have engine RPM display. Fault icons are located across the bottom of the screen. Top left indicates high pressure. If we have exposed the pump to a high pressure situation, this icon will be flashing. This icon alerts the operator his RPM is too low to operate the pump. The next icon indicates high oil temperature. This indicates an amperage fault to the main pump. This icon represents whether or not a proximity switch has failed. This tab indicates a cab protection fault. This is not being utilized by Putzmeister systems at this time. On the bottom left of the screen is our general fault icon, which will flash concurrently with the following fault icons. Our e-stop fault icon, pressure washer fault, agitator fault, cooler fault, over temperature for the truck fault. These last four icons are not currently utilized on U.S. production machines. By pushing the second button, we go to display our high output pressure. The left icon indicates maximum working pressure of the hydraulics. The operator has the ability to select this by pushing the lower right knob, adjust it to a lower pressure if he desires, and then select it again to lock that pressure in. On the right, he also has the ability to regulate the horsepower supplied by the engine. The same thing applies. Push the button to select that function, turn the knob to adjust the horsepower required, and push the button again to select that final setting. The lower left icon indicates the current mode of operation EOC or ergonic output control is set to. Next we have an RPM setting. The oil cooler fan icon tells us the condition the fan is in. It's either on, off, or in automatic control. On the lower right, this icon enables the operator to change the display of this unit from either English or metric units throughout the display. In the upper left, we have a graphic and numeric display indicating boom pipe wear. These are not currently used on U.S. production machines. The symbol with the wrench is an information service tool. Putzmeister service personnel select this to make changes in the programming or adjustments to the machine. On this screen, qualified Putzmeister personnel can enter a password in this position here. This allows them access to the programming for updates or changes needed. Screen contrast can also be adjusted. This increases or decreases contrast and brightness. On the information screen, we can look at the version of software that is applied on your particular unit, whether it's EGD, EPS, EBC, ETS, or EVSC. On this display, only two versions are loaded. The others just read 0. The unit number or serial number is also displayed in the lower right. Inside the auxiliary control box, we find the option module for outrigger switches. Out at the end of each outrigger is a local switch the operator can use to raise or lower the foot. Next, we have the ETVS, or Electronic Stabilization Control System, allows the operator to adjust his outriggers from the remote control.